When I returned 3 days earlier than expected from my work trip, the first thing that struck me wasn't laughter. It was chaos. The kind of sound that feels wrong in your own house. Hammering, drilling, dull thuds shaking the walls. I swung open the gate, suitcase trailing behind, and saw dust swirling through. Sunbeams. My kitchen, bathroom, and hall, all gutted. Pipes exposed like veins. Tiles smashed, floors torn apart. My sister looked up, half smiling, half caught. "You're back early," she said, wiping sweat off her forehead. "We're just remodeling before moving in." "Moving in?" I repeated. Her husband laughed. So did his parents. Not the kind of laugh that welcomes you home, the kind that slices, that says you're the joke. I only nodded. Fine, that was enough. I didn't ask where my things were or why no one thought to tell me. I just stepped into what used to be my room. Sheets gone. Closet bare. My life wiped clean. But they never learned this about me. I don't rage when I'm betrayed. I observe. I calculate. I wait. It started 2 years ago. After our parents passed, I let my sister and her husband stay for a little while. She'd begged through tears. They were struggling, and I couldn't say no. Family, right? For a while it worked. Then small things vanished: documents, jewelry, a feeling of ownership. They called it confusion, an accident. Eventually they stopped pretending. My home became theirs. My silence their permission. When I left for that trip, they must have seen the perfect opportunity. 3 weeks gone, enough time to finish the takeover. What they didn't know was that cameras watched every corner. Not cheap ones, but custom systems hidden in lights, synced to cloud backup. 3 days before I was due home, I watched from my hotel bed as they hauled out my furniture, watched my sister sign papers with a contractor, watched her husband pocket cash from a man in a suit, my documents in hand. They weren't renovating. They were selling. When I came back, I didn't confront them, not yet. I needed one more day. That night, I made a few quiet calls. My bank, the city office, the lawyer who handled the estate. Then I phoned the construction owner, an old friend who owed me a favor. By dawn, everything was ready. The next morning, I sat outside, drinking coffee, when my phone buzzed. My sister's voice trembled. "There are 2 police cars here," she said. "Yeah," I answered evenly. "There should be." "What's happening?" she panicked. Her husband shouted behind her. I didn't reply, just watched 2 officers march past me, reading charges aloud. Fraud, forgery, attempted illegal sale of inherited property. Her husband turned pale. His parents froze. My sister stood still, shaking. "You set us up," she whispered. "No," I said, meeting her eyes. "You set yourselves up." They never knew the house wasn't only in my name, it was in a family trust. Any unauthorized sale triggered an investigation. Every fake document, every withdrawal, already flagged. I didn't trap them. I simply let them tighten their own noose. The moment they tried to deposit the money, the system caught it. By the time I returned, the evidence was ready. As the police led them out, my sister turned, crying. "You're my brother," she sobbed. "How could you do this to family?" I stepped close enough for her to see the truth. She'd ignored for years, the quiet kind of strength. "I didn't do this to family," I said softly. "I did it for for what you ruined." She broke. Then tears, disbelief, regret, but it was too late. When the cars drove off, I went back inside. The tools were still, the walls half done. Silence filled the space once more, a calm, heavy silence. I walked to the bathroom, stared at the cracked mirror. My reflection looked peaceful, almost detached. The anger was gone. Anger screams. Revenge whispers. 3 days early, that's all it took. 3 days between deceit and justice. 3 days separating who they thought I was from who I really am. They believed they were stealing my home, my life, my place. But in the end, they only exposed their own greed, hollow and rotting. As the flashing lights faded down the street, I smiled. Not because I'd won, but because they finally learned who truly belonged.